Talk it out.
What's on your mind?
Talk it out. Talk it out.
I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show.
And talk it out.
What's on your mind?
Talk it out.
Do you have some time?
Talk it out.
I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show.
And talk it out.
You need the latest news and the latest fashion. Tune in to Talk It Out and watch that stallion. The whole city know that we on the horizon. The talk of the city, New York. Talk with me if you need the vent. Or if your rent spent, things don't make no sense. And life getting too tense, put your troubles on hold. If you sip or you roll, whatever I suppose. Turn on the radio. You with the queen whose voice is gold. She thick in the waist, don't let him in the waist. This show's a fine taste with design by Grace. And we won't stop until we heard in 50 states. Talk it out, talk it out, talk it out, talk it out.
What's on your mind?
Talk it out.
Do you have some time?
Talk it out.
I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show.
And talk it out.
What's on your mind?
Talk it out.
Do you have some time?
Talk it out.
I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show.
And talk it out.
It's the new old school. I miss Rockefeller, I miss Boot Camp, I miss Old Dirty with his food stamps. I miss Wu-Tang, RZA and Meth. I miss Escobar, that nigga's the best. What up, Killer Priest? I bet he's still a beast. I miss AZ, Willis Spitter in the east. Shout out to all the best, the south and all the west. Fucking DJs forgot about North and Ness. I miss Big L, where's McGruff? He ain't get popped, so why he seem dead to us? Fucking icons, I still love pop. Before Biggie, it was Heavy D and Chubb Rock. 3 fat niggas holding down plaques, nigga. Now the game is saturated with these rap niggas with no idea on what it takes to be nice. I'm taking out all you suckers like D-Nice. I'll J you, I'll nosh you, K-slay you, I'll squash you, K-arrest ya, diggity dots affect ya. Put them corny rounds back up in your dresser. DMX ya, feel the pressure. I'll pun you, I'll sun you, then bun you, then run you. Put your hands in the air when I come through. I miss State Prop and the way they used to make guap. I remember Ice-T used to hate cops. I remember Funk Flex used to hate Pac. And when Foxy and Kim bragged about the way they take cop. But these new niggas is boring, ignoring skill, talking foreign wheels. Where the hell is Lauryn Hill? And certain battle rappers, yeah, they could spit, but put them in the studio, they can't make a hit. I come up with 3 albums when I take a shit. Do a couple shows, then I take a trip. All these rappers that I mentioned, yeah, they great and shit. But that nigga in the mirror, that's my favorite. Bobby Stone you, P-Rock you, I'll own you, Tupac you, D-Block you, Big L you, Car Flow leaving niggas up in Bellevue, Eminem you, Rakim you, Ghostface you, Scarface you, Gasface you, when I third base you, Master Ace you, send you to God, lace you. Now I need ice and a big Glock. All Flavor Flav needed was a big clock. Now I need whips and chicks with big tits. Since when did all this define hip-hop? And why I get signed? Just to get dropped. Now I don't need a record deal to make my shit pop. Record labels, time to expose you. You want CD money plus the bread from my shows too? My fans and my hoes too? Then after that you want my liver and my nose too? No dude. See, my love for this is so true. And before I leave this bitch, I'ma show you. I'll 50 you, Buck 50 you, Red Man you, Killer Cam you, I'll game you, Lil Wayne you, Lil Fame you, Big Daddy King you, Chuck D you, Run DMC you, Bun B MOP when I see you, Sean Price you, Lloyd Banks you, Hip Hop, I just wanna say thank you. I'll Biggie you, nigga. I'll NY City you. I'll Snoop Dogg you, nigga. Nah, I'll 10 Dog.
Hey, good
evening, everyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome back to Talk It Out Radio. I am super excited to be back here on iAccess radio station. You guys have been watching me and seeing me post like crazy these past few weeks because I've been telling you guys that it is the return of Talk It Out Radio. We are back in New York City.
The return
Where I belong. So I'm very excited, guys. We got a great show lined up tonight, as we always do. You guys who have been following me and listening to my show for the last 5 years, you know Talk It Out brings it, right? We bring you the latest news and gossip. We bring you the hottest talent around the world, like my guest I have in here tonight, guys. If you are listening, and you should be, you can either hit that link I've been posting, you can download the iAccess Radio app. There is several ways, or you can go to the website, iAccessradio.com. There's many ways to be watching us right now, these beautiful chocolate faces.
You know what I'm talking about.
We got actor Tamike Ogugwa in the building, y'all. So I'm gonna need y'all to tune in tonight. Show him some love. He's got a lot of things going on. This guy has been all over the place. Most recently, he is in season 6 of Power. He's been in 2, 4, and 6.
And 6.
He's been in Blue Bloods. You've been in a lot of things, and you're doing so many more things. He's writing a play. He also raps. He's modeling. I remember you started that modeling career.
You know what? It's your fault.
Definitely, you guys gotta check out Tamike tonight. So let's say what's up to Tamike. How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on? It's been a while.
It has been a while. I haven't seen you in a while, guys. We are good friends. We go way back, like 4 flats on a Cadillac.
Yeah, go way back like car seats. You know what I'm talking about?
Definitely. Call in, guys. You gotta call in tonight, 347-708-0216. I'm throwing out that number right now because our topics tonight are crazy. Our news and gossip is crazy. Our letter from a listener is back. Y'all know how we do the letter from a listeners, right? I don't know if y'all remember, but we have people who write us letters about what's going on in their life or how they feel, they want to vent, whatever the case may be. Tonight is no different. We got a white girl who is going in. She is going in on her sisters, okay, about her man and this interracial dating thing. So I want you guys to definitely stay tuned for this letter. But before we get started, Mr. Ogugwa, say what up to the people.
I love the way you said my name. You said my name with such a verve and so much vigor. You said my name with so much pride in your voice.
Ogugwa.
Yes.
I'm one of the few who gets it right?
You one of the few who actually gets it right. We did right in intention, reflection. You are the greatest.
So Ogugwa is an African.
It is, yes, I am.
Look at you, got the accent going and all, y'all. He's not playing tonight.
Yo, no,
hey,
peace. What's going on? It is an African name, so I'm Igbo Nigerian, and very proud of that. So,
nice.
Yeah, anytime you see my social media, you'll see the white and green flag right either before or after my name. Know what I mean?
Okay. So he sounds like an American, y'all, but he looks like an African and an American.
He
can throw the accent. I like that.
Yeah, you know.
He's multi-talented. So let us know what you got going on for us. Give us a taste of what we got to see next for 2 weeks.
So right now it's all about season 6 of Power.
Yes.
You know
my God, y'all, are y'all watching Power? Power's getting like you're at the edge of your seat, like you're waiting for Sunday to come like every single week.
I know, I'm a fan too, so I can't wait to see how they do it.
I ain't gonna front. When you was in it on the return, right, when they came back from the break, right?
Right.
And it was when I hope I'm not spoiling it for y'all. Y'all should have watched it by now. But
should watch it by now.
Right. It's when Gray was getting locked up for the second time, right before before they executed his butt.
Right.
And I ain't gonna front. I had to rewind because I saw you. But I saw Dre, and he was just naked, and that's all I saw. I was just like, Dre, you are upstaging Tamike right now. Because all I saw was that body, and I was just like, who else is in this scene right now?
Stop.
I had to rewind.
Obi Hive.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Dre was looking right. And, I had to be like, oh, Tamike. That's right. I'm sorry.
But you know what? No, Rotimi is very cool to work with. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if he's cool to work with, but he's cool. He's
very cool to work with. And, we didn't have much of a chance to speak on set because, as you remember, at the beginning of season 6, they had a tragic accident where they had a crew member that actually, died on set. So they shut production down for a while.
Seriously?
Yeah. So by the time they started shooting again, things were so compact and moving so quickly. You know what I mean? I really didn't get a chance to like speak to the cast members as I usually would, but we had a brief conversation about us both being Nigerian. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm the one that's actually taking his mugshot and like telling him to turn, but you know, they of course cut that shot out. And there's music playing as I'm telling them to turn, so you really don't hear me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's me telling them to turn forward and right and all that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you're in more than one of the episodes this season.
This season, yeah. So, like I said, I'm in the famous Dre episode when he meets his demise at the end.
Right.
And I'm in the final episode that's directed by.
Don't tell us.
By Anthony Hemingway. So
okay,
yeah.
that's gonna be dope.
Yeah, so I'm not saying nothing, but you know I do have some info, but I ain't saying nothing.
Power, y'all. That is absolutely exciting. We all love Power. We have been on the edge of our seats trying to figure out who tell us. Can you please tell us
who
shot Ghost?
Listen,
all we want to know is who shot Ghost, right?
You'll find out by episode 615. You will find out. And big shout out to Courtney Kemp and company for bringing me back.
Nice.
And
that's right. They brought you back every other
bit.
season. You was in there representing, showing that face.
So yeah, definitely, yeah.
And that's how you do it. All right. So we know we got Power going on. Everybody's excited about that. Make sure y'all look for Tamike now in Power. If you didn't know him before, now you do. So when you're watching Power and when you play Marshall Macedon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Marshall Macedon, you see when they go to jail.
Yeah.
So of course you're in the jail.
Yeah, I'm in a famous scene with Ghost. I'm the one that's processing him and telling him to take off his watch and all that. I prevent him from calling Tasha when his phone rings and all that.
Gotcha.
That's me, yanking him up and all that.
So yanking him up. He yanking up Ghost. What's up with that, man?
Hey, man. Hey, they pay me to do it. I had to do it.
I know, that's right. So what else you got going for us?
Right now, I'm writing a play based on a book called Tumultuous by the lovely Yolanda Perry, who's based in Houston, Texas. So I'm very excited about that. And, I wanted to have it done by now, but over the holidays, I got very sick. I think I caught the flu. I was in bed for like 5 days. It was nuts. So she's being very patient with me right now, but I plan to have that play, the first draft, completed hopefully by the end of this week.
Okay.
So I'm writing a play, and what else? There's so much going on.
So when you're done writing this play, you're performing it? Or?
No, I'm not performing it at all. I'm just serving as the playwright.
Okay.
Yeah, serving as a playwright. So there's Power, there's that. I also signed on to do a series called The DOC, which is created by the lovely Robin K. Miller. Now, the DOC is based on true stories from Rikers Island. And, so I play.
That's pretty deep.
I'm going to be playing an inmate by the name of Malik Mustafa, who's like the lead inmate who everybody looks up to and whatnot. Mm-hmm. We got Richard Pryor Jr. up in there. We got Royce Johnson, who's done like all the Marvel stuff on Netflix.
Nice.
We got quite a cast on our hands.
And when is that expected to come out?
This year in 2020, that's going to come out of Ascendant Studios.
Okay.
And I'm very excited about that.
Now, I heard you say you have something coming up with DMX.
Yeah.
I know I love X, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I really can't talk about that right now. But you
gotta give us a taste, something.
I have you'll hear about it a little later. But I actually have a feature film that I've also signed on to called A Cup Full of Crazy. So
I like that.
So it's basically about a woman who is a MMA fighter, but the underlying premise of the movie is mental illness.
Okay.
And I play an MMA coach in a real crazy scene. So excited about that. We shoot that, I believe, in April in Philly. So
in another lifetime, I wanted to be an MMA fighter.
You an MMA fighter now? You're fighting demons. You're fighting everything.
I'm serious. That's like a fantasy of mine. I want to do some MMA fighting. I think I could kick some girls' butts.
You probably can.
I'm serious. I really can.
You got some tough boys that you
I do. I've been jacking my boys up for a living.
I seen you do it in
but
live
that's
action.
But that's fun. Like I beat my kids up for fun. Like
I seen you. Woo.
We all be in the house just play fight. I'm the only girl. I grew up with a lot of boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only girl, even in the house I'm in now. It's nothing but boys. So like, I'm rough. So I be toughing them up,
Rough and
my
tough
son
with
is
no
ready.
Afro
You
puffs.
messing with my baby, he ready, okay? The kids is messing with him now in school. He ready. Don't let my baby. But tonight, y'all, I want to get into some of our topics. So my topic tonight, it kind of came from a post I had put up when I was saying how I have no friends, like close to where I live anymore. And I was like, all my friends are male friends. And I was like, I can't hang with them anymore without making my guy upset. And
That's right. I remember seeing something like that.
And I was, and I'm like, and I understand where that comes from. So anyway, I wrote that. And then someone put a comment on there that said like, oh, that's a very dangerous relationship you're in. Be careful. And that kind of like pissed me off. Because I'm just like, what are you talking about? What is dangerous about respecting your relationship? And I'm like, I kind of feel the same way. When you are in a relationship, hanging with the opposite sex is not always the best idea. And so I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that tonight because I feel, I will explain my take on it and how I feel and how we both feel, and which is why I said what I said. But for him to be like, people take a small piece of something and they make a big generalization. And he's like, that's a dangerous relationship. And I'm like, you can't be putting that on black and white and all my listeners and fans are thinking I'm getting beat up at home. So you guys got to call in. Tell me what you think about this topic. 347-708-0216. I want to know, how do you feel about your man or your woman hanging with friends of the opposite sex? Now, again, my point is you're in a relationship. You do. I'm sure people have friends, male friends, but most of your male or female friends are either somebody you're interested in or was interested in or was dating, and you're now friends with, or there's some sort of underlying, sexual chemistry or attraction there.
Or past sexual history.
Right. Like very few people are just strictly platonic friends. Now, I do have a few, but even with the few I have that are strictly platonic, maybe at one point in time I had a crush on them when I was a kid or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's nothing.
I mean, that's nothing, but I don't really like stress that one. But most of the male friends I have, they're either attracted to me, I used to date them, or, like they act like it's platonic, but there's some underlying attraction there. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a dangerous ground to be hanging with men when you have a man. It's disrespectful. Why have a man if you still want to hang with men, right? Give me your take on this. I mean, I need you guys to give me some take on this, for real.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes, y'all could just be cool, and you could have met through business dealings or whatnot. Why am I stuttering?
Business is different.
Why am I stuttering?
Even with business, it might be some attraction, but if it's business strictly, that's one thing. You got to respect that.
Right.
But to just be like, oh, let's go to the movies, or you just hanging out
with
a friend, or y'all just talking on the phone all the time, or that can lead to problems.
Yeah, so that can lead to a problem. And that does not mean your partner is insecure at all.
Right. It does not at all, because I feel the same way.
It's just a respect thing. There are boundaries to consider.
And you're putting I feel like it's kind of setting yourself up. So now let's say you're confiding in this friend and you're hanging out with them all the time. Maybe your guy or your girl works a lot or whatever, never really around, and you're confiding in this opposite sex. And then what happens one day you guys have an argument, or you ain't getting none in a while, and the opportunity presents itself. It's putting yourself in a predicament where you might be tempted. Don't be me. Because you know what I'm talking about. So please, give me your fair opinion on this. I'm not playing with you, Tamika.
Listen, like I said before, there are boundaries to be considered. Now, it depends on who the people are. Also, it depends, what your personality is and what your partner's personality is. And if your partner is comfortable with you hanging out with the opposite sex, maybe your partner knows this person. If they know him, then there might be something different. But I'm taking it as your partner really doesn't know this person of the opposite sex like that.
Even if you know, how many men are really okay with their female hanging with?
I wouldn't say many. I wouldn't say many at all. Realistically, I wouldn't say many. Even the ones that say they're okay with it,
they got an eye open. They're watching. They're paying attention.
CBS.
See, Camille Sometimes business partners may take it further too, or have an attraction to you. That's my point. Like some people say, okay, how come people of the opposite sex just can't be friends? We're not saying that. You can just be friends, and you can be friends when you're single. When you're not single, it is kind of like a disrespect, crossing the line, borderline cheating. Am I wrong?
I wouldn't say borderline cheating. That's taking it a bit far.
You don't think so?
That's taking it a bit far now.
You don't think that that's like borderline?
That's not borderline anything. If you're not physically doing anything, that's not.
You know how they say you're like how they say sinning. It's not just actually doing the sin. It's when you think it too. So if you think about sleeping with his wife,
here you go.
That is still wrong. It's still a sin. It's still wrong. So I think it's the same way. If you are with that person and y'all are like together, just the two of you, and you know this person has some sort of attraction to you or vice versa, that is borderline. That is borderline.
Okay.
Cheating.
All right. Like I said, it depends on who the people are. Your point of view is it's borderline cheating. So if your man had a female friend, you would think
that he was hanging with, without me there. Right. Absolutely, I'm not having that. But that was my point. Like I felt the same way. Oh, we got a caller, guys. I'm dying to hear this one. Hey, you're on the radio, Talking Out Radio. Who's calling?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I know that voice. What's good, Cuzzo?
What's up, Cuzzo? Welcome back. So I'm tuning in because, So the question is, what if you have male friends? Can it be okay?
How do you feel about your man or woman hanging with friends of the opposite sex?
Me personally, I don't think it's a problem. As long as everybody is on the same level. As long as my male friend...
Like I said, to each his own. That's what I'm saying, to each his own.
Listen. As long as he knows who I'm hanging with and vice versa, there has to be something called trust. If there's no trust in a relationship, then there's no need to even be in it. Period.
I don't think violating trust. I think that's a disrespect. He can know the person.
It's a disrespect if they don't know the person.
He can know the guy. But does it mean the guy doesn't like you? Does it still like you? Like, I don't get that.
No, there's always going to be a like from another guy towards me or you. It's always going to be a like, but it depends on how far you're going to take it. As long as you and your man are both on the same level, as y'all both know what this relationship holds, I don't feel that it's a problem with being friends with a male. All of my friends are male friends. So if I just start getting into a relationship with a guy and he has a problem with my male friends, then they will hear first at the end of the day. I'm not going to make him feel uncomfortable because they were here prior to him.
I get that. Now, I'm not saying cut your friends off, but there has to be, the friendship changes. Once you're in a relationship, actually your man comes first. I understand your friends are always there, but they understand that they take us back. It's just like girlfriends. When a girlfriend get her man, her girlfriends don't get to see her that much. It's not saying they're still not her ride or dies. It's just your man comes first, and you gotta sort of please him too. So if he has a problem with it, or if he feels like, okay, I trust you, and that's what he always tells me, I trust you. It's the men I don't trust, and I feel like that's a setup.
That's a setup. Then that means that he knows what he was doing when he had female friends.
Well, I feel like it's a setup. Like I feel like. Me hanging with men all the time and not my own man, or hanging with my male friends who I know have an attraction to me, or I know I used to date, so we had some sort of chemistry. That's a setup. That's a setup for me, because I feel like on a day where we're arguing and fighting, or I'm on the verge of breaking up, I'm running to that person and I'm confiding in them, and that's how doors open. I think that's a setup.
I totally agree to that, but that means that you don't respect your relationship that strong enough that you won't go run into that open door.
And it's called self-control. So
that's true too.
Absolutely. You have to have that control, and you have to have that respect for yourself and your respect for your mate. Because whether you get into an argument, no relationship is going to be 100% great.
Right.
And we get that. You're going to run to your friends because you want their advice. But you also going to put your friends to a certain level to know that I know this one is attracted to me. Like, he might any opportunity I give him, he's running for it.
Right.
So you got to know you can't go to that friend. You can't go to that friend. Certain friends you're going to have to start cutting loose once you're in a committed relationship.
That's my point. Certain friends you just cannot have in a relationship. Like, I have maybe 2 or 3 guys that I can truly say is strictly platonic and I don't have to worry about anything. I want to be able to come and cry on your shoulder if I need to and not feel like you're going to use that as a open door, to try to take it somewhere further. And I think that is the line you kind of are skating on when you are hanging with the opposite sex. And if
so what you're saying, you shouldn't hang with the opposite sex at all?
No, I'm not saying at all. I'm just saying it has to be. I guess it should be certain type of friends. It should not be people you used to date.
You gotta choose. So you gotta choose whether the friend is ugly or.
Yes, there's no if he can't, same thing with him. I don't think I would want him hanging with his exes or hanging out with girls that he...
Then guess what? There's a trust issue there. I disagree. Like, it could be double standard, but as long as you know where you stand, hey, go hang with him. I know what I'm bringing in the bedroom, and I know what I'm bringing to this relationship. Nigga, go ahead and step out if you wish.
All right.
You better choose wisely. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you, Cuzzo. We got another call coming in. Thank you for calling. I love you.
Love you too.
Later. Oh my God, I get her point. I do. Is the next caller online? I hear them ringing in there. I love that ringtone, right? It makes you want to dance. Talking Out Radio. Who's calling?
Welcome back, sis. It's the Love Doctor.
Hey, Love Doctor.
Yeah. Welcome back. I see you had your cousin on the line. She don't know what she's talking about.
Thank you. Thank you, Love Doctor. Now let's set the record straight. No, I get her point, but let's hear your point.
I'm with you, but you know what? I'm gonna switch it up tonight. I'm gonna let the other parts of Santiago of our Access Radio let him say his what he want to say.
Hi, Grace.
Hi. How are you?
This is Santi.
Oh, what's good? Hey, boo, what's good?
All right, listen, I totally agree with you in a certain way, right? Because, if it's a new friend, somebody that you don't know, okay, I could see how you feel, right? But let's say you have an old friend. Let's say you have an old friend before you get married. And then you get married. Are you supposed to let that friend go?
I'm not, no. I'm not saying let them go. The nature of the friendship changes because you cannot hang with them the way you used to hang with them anymore.
But why not? I mean, if let's say you want to have dinner with a friend that you say you had dinner with them before. I mean, why would it change? Why?
So you're trying to tell me you're married?
I have to give you that respect.
You don't think that's like going on a date? You're married and you're going out to dinner with a female friend. And so why isn't your wife there? If it's all just friendship, why isn't your wife invited to the dinner?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But no, I understand how you feel.
Because she becomes our friend, not just your friend anymore.
Our.
Well, I don't see it that way. I see it as if I had a friend for 10 years, okay, I know that if I ask her, okay, let's go out for dinner, she's going to say yes, but if I see that that's going to interfere with the relationship, then, I can say I'm going to let this friend go. No.
Okay. So you think that it is kind of okay then to be married or in a relationship and still have that same type of relationship with the opposite sex of friends? If
I didn't have anything to do with that friend romantically, right? Mm-hmm. It's fine. And the same thing with her. If she had a friend already for years, or a friend from high school or from school, and she said, I'm going to get together with Tom or whatever his name is, I would say, okay, no problem, right? I mean, it's not like she should come home like smelling like alcohol. I think like that, then that'd be a problem.
So then, you know her friends. You've met Tom before. You know, you've kind of felt Tom out for yourself. You kind of feel comfortable that it's just a friendship.
Exactly.
Okay, exactly. That's a little different. But if Tom was her ex, or if Tom, if you knew Tom had an interest in her from before or whatever, would you still be okay with it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, that is my point. That is my point.
Hey, Grace, this is a Love Doctor. Hell no, she ain't going out. I ain't gonna think about letting her go out. I'm with you. I don't care what your cousin say, and I don't care what Santiago say. She is not going out with the opposite sex. I'm with you, sis.
I hear that, Love Doctor. Now tell us why you feel that way. Do you think that's because people are saying that's insecure? That's a toxic. Really, I was really upset when he said that. Like, be careful. I'm like, where will you get that from? He's harmless, but that's just how he feels.
It's not insecure, but it's the respect of the game.
I agree.
All right, once you get into a relationship with a person, all that other stuff goes out the window.
I agree.
Other people you might be thinking one way, but that man might be thinking another way, and that's where the problem comes.
Thank
so
you.
If you don't put yourself in that predicament, it won't happen. If
That's
you have a
how
man,
I
be happy
feel.
with your man.
That's how I feel.
And that's what it is.
That's
and you
how
keep
I
on with
feel.
the show, and thank you for coming back. Love you, sis.
Thank you. Love you, Love Doctor. Thank you guys for calling.
All right.
Bye-bye. See, I totally agree. I understand everybody's point, but at the end of the day, I feel like he does. That nature of the friendship changes. I'm not saying that's not still your friend, but if we're going out, my man should be invited. If he's going out with his female friend, I should be invited. Now, if I decide to say, no, you guys go ahead, that's one thing. But it's our friend now. I'm serious. You're laughing. Just like your kids is my kids and your mom is now my
our
mom.
friend
This is
now.
your best friend. Then she's now my best friend too. So we should all be able to hang out together. I'm serious. But there is no one-on-one you hanging with this person unless, your female friend is a dyke or she gay and, she ain't into me. That's a little different. We got the phone lines going. We got another call. This is Talk It Out Radio. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Lady D from Let's Be Clear Radio. Welcome back.
Hey, Lady D, thank you.
It's
you
your
guys
homecoming,
are showing love. Let's Be Clear Radio's on the line. What's good?
Nothing much. Just chilling, sitting here, enjoying the show.
Thank you.
I don't agree with nothing the big Rich the Ruler said because he's crazy. However,
Tell
I
us how
agree
you
with
feel.
Long because if you're in a relationship, a committed relationship with someone, and you decide that you're going to go out, as long as your mate is okay with it, you should go out with that person. As long as there's no funny business going on and everybody has trust in the relationship, then everything is cool. It's all about trust, just like Lady Grace said, it's all about trust. You have to trust your partner to know that they're not going to step out there and do something they're not supposed to do.
Now, in my I understand. I trust my man. And he trusts me. He's like, it's not that I don't trust you. His thing is, I know guys. And I know how men are. So he feels like how, almost like Big Rich said, it's kind of a setup
Big Rich
to
now?
keep putting yourself, the Love Doctor, to keep putting yourself in that predicament. So even if my man says, oh yeah, I trust you, go ahead. You don't think that in the back of his mind somewhere, he's sitting at home twiddling his thumbs like a little worried, just a little bit worried?
Well, that's going to be in the back of men's mind that have done that in the past.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's okay?
I'm sorry?
You think it's okay? If it was your man going out with another female that he said just his friend, you're okay with him going and you're going to stay at home and they can go out and go to the movies or go to dinner and you're okay with that?
Well, if I'm invited to go, of course I'm going to go. But if not, if I'm not invited, then I won't go. I have to trust him. And if anything happens, that's how it's meant to be.
But
because he'll do it with her or with anybody else if he wants to.
That's
right
true.
or wrong.
That's true. You have no control over what they do.
Yeah,
but I'm just not going to push you into that. Like I said, if she's your friend, she's now my friend. So if y'all go to dinner, we going to
dinner. Vacations together and everything.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said we taking vacations together and everything. We one big happy family.
Exactly, girl. We gonna be one big happy family, girl. I'm like, hey, girl.
Exactly.
No, I totally.
All right,
I hear what you're saying.
sitting here. I'm watching.
Thank you.
Welcome back again.
Thank you, Lady D. Thank you for calling in. Much love.
You sick?
All right.
We sick.
Bye-bye. Guys, this is Talking Out Radio. We are having a great conversation talking about how do you feel about your man or woman having friends with the opposite sex. And so we've gotten some great feedback. They've been showing some great love. The iAxis family, thank you guys all for calling in. We're going to take a quick break because you know this is Talking Out Radio, home of rising talent, real topics with real people. So we are here with the best independent artists. I play only independent music. So I want to get some music bumping in you guys' ears. I love my artists. We're going to have to bring my award show back again for another year. So guys, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Stallion is on. And we'll be right back. Harry.
You thought he was awesome. What a fucking guy. He said I love you. What a fucking lie. He cost you money. Stacking money 7 months into your pregnancy. This nigga acting funny. He just wanted the bone. Such a
You gonna play?
Hey, this is Talking Out Radio. You on the line interrupting our music break. Who's calling?
It's your boy Lamar Doctor. I was referred by Tamika to join the show, so I've been listening.
Oh, what's going on, Lamar?
Not much. On the road driving.
Okay, well, are you listening to our conversation?
Yes, ma'am, I definitely am. And I would have to say that I 100% agree with you.
Hey! That's what I'm talking about.
When you're in a relationship and you have built a strong foundation, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize that.
Yes.
So the things that you have had when you were single now has to change.
Amen.
The other person comes first, and you have to think about things on a much higher and deeper level.
Yes.
You know, it's not just a trust issue. It's the fact of how well do you want to protect your kingdom?
That's right.
You have something that you built together, and you want to keep that as tight as possible and not put yourself in any situation that's going to jeopardize what you have. And I think many people miss that.
You know what? I'm so glad you called because I agree with you 100%. Like you said, once you have that person in your life, everybody else got to take a fall back, and they got to understand that. That is now your number one. The relationship you had with them changes, and you got to protect it. That is just a setup to keep hanging with them. I think that's a setup. I totally agree. Tamika?
Correct.
Ma'am?
What you got to say to that?
I got nothing to say. I'm being ganged up on, beat up, and left behind.
Caller, I thank you because we got a lot more coming
what up, Dolamar? What's going on, man?
What up, boss? Hey, I appreciate the referral, man.
All good, man. We need more listeners. Tell a friend and tell a friend. You know what I mean?
That's right.
To watch that stallion.
Hey, the real one. We're gonna talk about that next.
You know what?
I hear that. I hear that.
Stallion. We're gonna talk about that next because this perpetrator, this pony running around, we can't have. But thank you, caller, for calling in. Please stay tuned. We got more stuff coming up, some serious stuff we're gonna talk about, some more laughs. We got a great letter that we're gonna read later on. So I would love for you to call back and give us your input later on as well.
All right, no doubt. Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
Peace
Good night.
Salute.
Definitely.
All right.
What is that, like 2 for 2 now?
I'm not counting nothing. Back to the music. Hip hop.
Path of life, such an attractive sight, cause she like Aphrodite, the master's eyes. She rationalized how she has to grind, teaching the kids how to live and adapt their minds, to read between the lines and detach the lies, so they can proceed to rise through these tragic times. Indeed, it's so hard on your own when low paying job, baby, father is gone. He make your heart throb, ponder his tone, but all he can do is just call on the phone. Collect charge, out of control, accept all, but how long can this go on? before responses is cold. Plus he don't understand and can't offer no hold.
I see you trying right, I see you fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night. Who gon' teach a little man how to ride a bike, how to fight, how to pee, how to read, how to write? It's Friday night and your friends popping bottles, all up in the club while you warming up the bottle. But you keep on trying right, you keep on fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at
Never
night.
alone, you appreciate those growing with you. Like moms holding down a home, you going to dinner. Or friends who helped you so long, you call them your sister. Cause you're the backbone, strong and all of your vigor. At times you sit in zone and wrongly consider making it hell for homes. That's gone from the picture. You need to atone or ponder this vision. You can't make him grown, he has to want to be different. Honoring all the women, realizing existence that don't theorize but hit the grind and go get it. Knowing times get hard, you've been scarred through the mission, but you wipe it all off and push it more to the limit. Crying is a part of life. Death and decision, you illuminate bright, cause there's no stress when you winning. So analyze life and find a lesson within it. Then you'll see the light. You passed the test, you done did it, girl.
I see you trying right, I see you fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night. Who gon' teach a little man how to ride a bike, how to fight, how to pee, how to read, how to write? It's Friday night and your friends popping bottles, all up in the club while you warming up the bottle. But you keep on trying right, you keep on fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry.
I miss hearing it.
Oh, that you singing?
That's not me singing.
Oh, who's that singing?
That's my girl, Sugar Brown.
Oh, shit.
Sugar Blow. Yeah. Hey, I think we are back. Yeah.
I think we are.
Did y'all miss us? Guys, you're still tuning in to Talk It Out Radio Show, home of rising talent, real topics with real people, right here on iAccess Radio. We've been having a great talk, so if you're just tuning in, shame on you. But we got a great actor in the building, actor, rapper, entrepreneur. This man does it all. Playwright. You know, we've been talking it out with Miss Tamike Ogugwa over
Ain't no Miss,
here.
Mister. Get it right.
I said Mister.
You said Miss.
I said Mister.
You said Miss.
I'm gonna play that back. I know what I said.
Call in and tell her what she said, just like y'all think Ghost,
Mister.
just like y'all think Ghost said her and not it.
Tamike.
She said Miss. Mister.
Ogugwa.
Yes, at least you got last name right.
I know how to say your whole name right.
better.
Don't play with me.
Hey.
I'm good at pronunciation. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Hey.
But you are over here doing some great things.
So.
It's funny you say you're writing a play because I'm actually writing one too.
Oh.
But I'm writing one for Easter for my church on the resurrection and the death of Christ, of course.
Okay.
So it's going pretty well. I'm getting into it, and it's really good. I write really well, so you guys gotta stop sleeping on Stallion. I be doing the doggone thing.
Okay.
And so I'm also I have a little spot in a movie that I did called Chill Pill that's being released this year. It was directed by Mikey J.
All right,
and
congrats
I
on
have
that.
a scene in there. And then he asked me to come back for another movie he has coming up called Time Matters, and we're shooting for that right now.
Nice.
I have another role in that. I think my character dies in the hospital, so
Oh, no.
it's pretty good. You guys got to check that out. But I'm getting back into my acting scene and my writing, and I'm still doing my show. And you guys know I'm a fashion designer, so check out Stallion Style Design.
As a matter of fact, I got a quick story. As she mentioned at the beginning of the show, I have done a bit of modeling the past few years, and it's all your fault.
Aw, you mean all thanks to me?
All thanks to you.
All thanks to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, matter of fact, it's crazy because I'm wearing one of the designers now.
I was wearing that sweater the other day.
Death Before Dishonor, 424 Clothing.
That's
Shout
right.
out to my people in Atlanta.
That's
As a
my
matter of
girl.
fact, I was just hanging out with them back in
D.
October.
Mm-hmm.
I was just with them back in October. They actually dressed me for an event I did with Q Parker for 112.
Oh, so you was out there.
I was in Atlanta chilling out with them. Matter of fact, they picked me up from the airport.
That was nice.
Yeah, Q and
See how I make connections.
Now she picked me up from the airport.
Definitely shout out to Dee and her hubby. I actually had their sweater. I've had it from the show that we did.
Yeah.
And it's been in my closet forever. And the other day I was wearing my white boots, and I'm like, I don't have anything to go with these white boots. And I had their white sweater that said Death Before Dishonor. And I actually rocked it to the movie theater to go see Bad Boys.
Okay,
So I just wore it
Bad
on
boys,
Saturday,
bad boys.
which we're gonna talk about as well.
Okay.
But guys, we have been having a great topic talking about going out with the opposite sex when you're in a relationship, and you guys have been giving us great feedback on that. I think we got like 2 up. You know, I'm kind of winning over here.
Listen, I'm not even. There is no
So
competition right
no,
here.
No, it isn't. It's your opinion.
Oh, it's my.
It's definitely up to your opinion, but you know.
I never.
My opinion is always, the better one. But call in, guys, 347-708-0216. I also want to talk about something serious that is going on. The other day, another 19-year-old boy was killed by police. It was actually right in my city in West Haven in Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
And he was gunned down. So they fired 7 bullets into this boy's car after a chase on the highway. So apparently what I'm reading on the story was it started with him out in Norwalk. He was at a phone store.
In Norwalk.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yeah. And it's already said that he kind of has some mental issues. He suffers from schizophrenia. So he has some mental issues going on. But he was in a phone store and got into an argument with the people in the store. And they said that he pulled a knife out. And but nothing happened. He left the store. He caught a ride share. In the ride share, somehow he got into an argument with the driver of the ride share.
Oh, wow.
The driver pulled over and got out the vehicle. And when he got out the vehicle, they were saying that the guy, the 19-year-old boy, took his car and fled.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, the chase began. He fled from Norwalk all the way up until West Haven. Norwalk police was chasing him, and then they ceased the chase. And then they let the troopers pick it up. So, you see the video. There's video footage on this, guys. You can go and fact check this. There is video footage. And they're chasing him, all the way up 95 up to exit 43 in West Haven. And when he gets off the highway, he is surrounded by police vehicles. And you see them screaming at him to get out the car. You don't see him moving. Mind you, he has a knife, not a gun. There's no gun. He doesn't pull out anything. And they're trying to break the window. You see the one cop breaking the passenger window. Mm-hmm. And then one of the officers just fires 7 shots into the car. For what? So it's like, here we are again, senselessly killing our black boys. Again, and I'm not saying like, okay, he didn't do something wrong, but if
he didn't deserve to die.
He did not deserve to die. And if this was a white 19-year-old kid, wouldn't you guys have apprehended him the same way?
No, he'd be alive.
They would have did everything in their power to get this kid to get out the car. They would have arrested him and probably took him out for a burger before they took him to jail.
No, and it's always, whenever encounters with the police are involved, especially, they would have taken his mental, his
they probably didn't know he had mental issues, but again, there was no immediate threat to you guys. He had no gun. No, you have no story of a gun. They said he had a knife. Okay, you have guns. He has a knife.
But here's the thing. We live in a society where our skin is seen as a threat already.
Always. And that's the problem.
So when people think your skin is a weapon, they're automatically going to be scared of you.
But is it, my question is...
yeah, go ahead.
These trigger-happy police, like when it comes to black and brown people and the way that they treat us, is it fear, racism,
hell no, it's not
hate,
fair.
Or just a lack of training? Like, I want you guys to
It's not lack of training.
in,
it's called racism.
And give me. So do you believe it's racism?
I don't believe it's racism. I know it's racism.
He said, I know. I want you guys to call in 347-708-0216. Let us know how you feel. Do you think these cops are just lacking training? They are really scared of us. Is it race? Is it just race and hate? What do you think it really is of why they treat us this way?
Call in.
He's like,
347
because this is not the
708-0216.
It's been happening since the beginning of time. They always treat us this way. That kid was 19 years old. There's no reason why you could tell me that all these cops surrounding him couldn't get him out this vehicle without firing bullets. And then you fired 7 of them. Not 1, not 2, 7. And they killed this boy.
Crazy.
So it really is, my heart and condolences go out to his family. But I am so sick of saying that. I am so sick of being hurting and sad because it could be my child. I have a 19-year-old black boy. He's in Massachusetts. It could be my son that happens too. So it's like I'm praying all the time, but I am tired of us just constantly giving out condolences. We need to do something to stop these cops from behaving the way that they are behaving. And I'm not saying be violent, but I'm saying we got to be vigilant. I need you to listen to me over here.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Definitely, I need you guys' opinion on this. So while that really bothered me. It bothered me all weekend to hear that they keep on. The girl that they killed, and it was in Texas. they came by to do a home visit. Was it Texas? Where the cop came by to do a well visit because the neighbor called saying that the door was open and it was like 1 a.m.
And that's caused the domino effect.
She came to the window to see what was going on, and the cop shot her in the window and killed her.
Right.
Like,
while she was babysitting her nephew.
What was her threat? What was her threat? She's in the window because she hears something around the house.
Right.
And you fire a shot.
But, as a result of that young lady dying first, first her father
passed, and then her mother.
And then her mother passed away.
That's a broken heart, if you ask me. There's no way. Right after she passed away, after she was killed, her father passed away. Yeah. And then just recently, her mother passed away. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. That's a broken heart, because that's what's gonna happen to me. You take away my child, it's a wrap. I'm going next. It's a wrap. And I'm going out fighting, not just from a broken heart. You can't do that to people and just take away their families. But guys, please call in and give us your opinion on that. I want to get into our letter from a listener. But before I jump to that, we all know that yesterday was MLK Day. We celebrated MLK. What's up, G? I see you guys on the Facebook Live. Call in and give us your opinion. Give us a shout out on what we're talking about up here. But yesterday was MLK Day. And I learned something that I never knew before. Shout out to Pernell Walker, because I saw it on her page.
Peace, Pernell. Love you, Pernell.
That's my girl. But shout out to Pernell Walker. She posted about Martin Luther King's mother.
Yeah.
A lot of us I didn't know that, and when I posted it, a lot of people was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually.
They don't teach those things in school.
They don't.
But how many of us know that Martin Luther King's mother was also assassinated?
It's gunned down, I think, right in church.
In the church.
Yeah.
A few years after he was. Mm-hmm. She was gunned down. I did not know that. That totally blew my mind. And it was, and of course they were saying it was a person that was mentally ill, which is crazy. But it was one of us, which is crazy. But I didn't know she was assassinated as well. Mm-hmm. Did you know about that?
I found out about it on social media a few years ago, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't, I wasn't taught about it in school.
You don't talk about that in school. They barely celebrate our Black history in school.
Well, I went to a HBCU, so I mean,
elementary and high school.
I went to a predominantly
that makes
Black.
It even worse. The Black schools.
So let me explain. So I grew up in Durham, North Carolina, which is basically a Black city in North Carolina.
It sure is.
So I went to Art Harris Elementary School, which was a Black elementary school all the way up until 5th grade when I went to Bethesda. Then I went to Neal Middle School, which was, pretty much mixed. Then I went to Southern Durham High School, which was pretty much mixed. But I always hung out with, the people that went to Hillside High School, which was one of the Black high schools in Durham. I always hung out with the people that went to Durham High, which was a Black high school in Durham, until I got to high school. And then they dispersed Durham High and it turned it into the art school. But the point being is, Durham is small anyway. So I was always in the community, you know what I mean? So, point being, this was not taught at all. And I went to a Black college. Shout out to North Carolina A&T. I went to a Black college and still didn't learn this information until I was full grown.
Shame on A&T for not teaching this to our children. I didn't know this.
Ain't no shame on A&T. Stop that.
It is a shame, because that is something that should be taught. That's something we should know. We should be knowing everything there is to know about our leaders who died for us.
But you know what? It's up to us to teach at home.
It is.
You shouldn't have to depend
on. But
if
we wasn't taught it, how are we going to teach it at home? That's something I would have shared with my child when we did a 23-page paper on Martin Luther King's life. But we never saw that information. So you can only teach what you know and what you see and what's out there. I didn't see that when I was teaching him and helping him. And of course, I didn't know that, so I wouldn't even know to look that up or to look for that. Just being real. I didn't know that.
Question for you.
These teachers never told us those
Question
things.
for you.
Our parents never told us those things.
Is there a Black bookstore in your city?
I'm sure it is.
Have you ever had the initiative to go to that Black bookstore?
No. Do you know what my life is like? No. Especially when everything is online. You can Google every doggone thing.
But you should be going to visit a Black bookstore. Make time to visit. See, in Durham, North Carolina, we had a Black bookstore called the No Bookstore. And I used to go there all the time. And
you are one of how many?
So that's how I found out about.
A lot of us don't do that. How many people?
The Moors
between
and
raising their kids, working jobs, going to school, whatever, have time to sit in a bookstore? We don't really have that much time. It is good to do it. We should do it. Just like we should educate ourselves on these policies that's going on and and what's going on in politics, but we don't, and that's a downfall.
But it's about seeking knowledge. That's all. That's my point.
I get that.
You gotta seek knowledge. You have to have the initiative to seek knowledge.
But it has to be taught to you. You have to have that instilled in you.
Yeah.
Or you got to start it on your own. And
for
a lot of people just either don't have the time or feel like they can get it from other sources.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I agree with what you're saying.
I'm
they
just
should.
saying.
But it doesn't always work out that way.
True indeed.
People's lives are really chaotic. I know mine is. And so.
Oh, like mine ain't.
Saying, but I love to read and I love to learn. So if I hear about it, I learn it. Or if I'm thinking something, I'll look it up. But that was just not something that I thought would be something to look up.
So I have a challenge for you.
Now that I know, I'll look it up. Here you go. Here you go.
I challenge you to look up a black bookstore in your city in Connecticut.
Don't be showing out where I live. I don't live in Connecticut, y'all. I don't live in Connecticut.
You don't live in Connecticut?
No.
You don't?
I don't live in Connecticut, y'all. So I want to get into our letter from a listener before you go. For real. All right. So our letter from a listener, guys, I had to rewrite it because I didn't have time.
Watch it, stallion.
I definitely want y'all to call in on this letter from a listener, 347-708-0216. Our letter from a listener comes from a woman who is really upset with us sisters.
What happened?
Are you ready?
What happened?
Right. She says, I'm a white female currently in a relationship with a black man, and we have a great relationship, but my issue is all the negative feedback he gets from his friends and family. He tells me how they make jokes about him liking white women and how he needs to be careful, etc. It angers me because black people are always complaining about people being racist towards them, but they do it just as much. Strike one, little girl. No, I'm joking. Okay. But they do it just as much. My family is very supportive of our relationship. They even helped him pay for school and pay off his car. How many black women's families are doing that for their children's boyfriends?
Oh, strike two.
Thank you. Ooh, she on a roll.
Damn.
He says black women call him a sellout and tell him that he's not strong enough to handle a black woman. But maybe he doesn't want to be in a relationship with a woman that thinks she's a man and brings him drama. Strike three?
Strike three.
Okay, strike three. We're going to keep going. She says, why does skin color even matter? Why can't people like what they like without hate? She says, I have no issues with black women, but I will go off on one if she disrespects me. Is that strike four?
I don't know. That's your department right
Maybe
there.
Maybe half a strike?
You're the woman, so okay.
No, but I get her for that. You can disrespect me. I understand that part. She says, I can be there for him just as much, if not more, than a black woman can. I'm gonna just keep looking at you.
You're gonna look at me.
She says, I think these women need to focus more on getting and keeping a man more than they are with trying to deter mine. No, we are not taking away your black men, as some of you may think. You didn't know how to treat him, so don't be mad if a white woman does. Is that strike 5, 6, 7? Okay. Spend time figuring out how to treat your black men. Then you don't have to worry about us taking them. You put your hood on and your head down? I can't. If y'all just heard this letter, don't make me read again. Call in, guys. 347-708-0216. I need to know how y'all feeling about this letter from a listener who is upset that black women are shaming men for going out with white women. Tamika.
Ma'am.
Please give us your opinion on this letter. I hope you guys didn't just miss this letter on Facebook. For real. Give us your opinion.
See, this is the part where she should just be quiet and just sit back and observe why black people, not just women, but black people behave the way they behave in this society. Mm-hmm. See, we put up with a little thing called racism. Mm-hmm. It's racism. I hate to use the term white supremacy because white people are not supreme. It's just hatred. Mm-hmm. But there are pressures on black people, and specifically in the United States, you're dealing with the legacy of Jim Crow. You're dealing with the legacy of slavery. You're dealing with a lot, especially for me being a first generation, Nigerian. Mm-hmm. My parents are still dealing with the legacy of colonialism from Great Britain. They brought that over with them in the 70s. So, given our history, especially black women, there is a lot on y'all.
We are the most disrespected.
There's a lot.
The black woman is the most disrespected human being.
And the most unprotected, and that's a damn shame.
And then you have people like this that say stuff like this, and that's what makes us feel the way that we feel. Because for one, you guys think that you're better. You think that you can handle our men better. You think you can do a better job than we can. I don't have a problem with interracial dating. Like what you like. I don't have a problem with that.
But like what you like and shut up.
Right. And first of all, why is he coming home telling you these things? Like, you wouldn't know unless he's coming home, right? And bedroom talking and, babe, so this chick said this to me today, or, my family said X, Y, and Z. First of all, you need to stop telling her that. Because it's going to make her feel the way she feels.
Like what you like and shut up about it.
Right.
Just because you like something doesn't mean you have to put down, the other. You don't.
Right.
Like what you like, be happy with it, move on.
Secondly, you cannot relate to a black man better than a black woman can. I'm just sorry, you can't. You can be there, like she's saying, your parents paid his school and your parents paid off his car. Well, honey, that's probably why he's with you.
And furthermore, again, black folks in this country have had to deal with the legacy of what's called redlining. We did not have the opportunity to build wealth like white families did.
Right.
Most white people in this country built their wealth either through, I'm just gonna say it, they had some white people are still living off the money that their families made during slavery.
Most of them are.
And then home ownership.
They're living off their parents, period.
And then home ownership, which created a lot of wealth for white families. Now, when you deny black home ownership to people and force people to live in ghettos, that's not an accident. That's not an accident. Like I said, I mentioned I'm from Durham, North Carolina, so I'm very, very intimate with this. I come from a place which was known as Black Wall Street. Mm-hmm. I'm from one of the Black Wall Streets in this country. There was not only Tulsa, there was Durham, and there were other areas of the country. But let me speak to Durham because that's what I know. Now, Durham, the black community back in the day during segregation, booming, thriving. We had black businesses, and you could do the research for yourself. But Durham is famous for having like black entrepreneurs and all that. Do you know in the Hayti community? So do you know when they built the Durham Freeway, they designed it to go straight through the Hayti community and broke it up, and then created Cornwallis projects, Few Gardens projects, Maduka Terrace projects. You understand what I'm saying? So what they did, they deliberately destroyed, a black neighborhood that was thriving. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
because
so my question is to that: how are they? Let me try to say this the right way. Black people, we need to stop letting them. If that was a predominantly black city, why didn't they do something about it? If they were a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs there, which means they had wealth and they had the knowledge, why didn't they stop that? See, that's the difference between us and white folks. White people don't let stuff come into their neighborhoods that they don't want there. They will go and do what they go to their legislators, they go to the meetings, they will speak up and speak out, and they will stop these things from being put in their neighborhoods. We don't do that. We sit back and we let it happen, and then we complain to each other about it, and then we say, woe is me, and this is why we can't come up, but we don't stick together, we don't rise up, and we don't do anything about these things. And that's why they just walk all over us like doormats.
Well, that's not the reason. And there are plenty of reasons. Number one, dealing with, all right, so let's deal with Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was really depicted in this past season of Watchmen on HBO. Tulsa was bombed by its own government.
Well.
Let's just be clear about that. Tulsa, which was another black community, thriving, booming, a lot of wealth going on. You know, they pretty much fabricated, you know, this a white young lady accusing a black young man of sexual assault, and used that as an excuse to just go on a killing spree, going in and shooting the citizens. All of a sudden, you get bombs. Now, Tulsa was the first ever event you had in the United States where you had the United States' own government bombing its own citizens. So, Tulsa got bombed by its own country. Okay. That's what happened there.
Bombing and building and separating a city is two different things. You have no control over a bomb being dropped, but you have a control over something being built because it takes a while to do that. And you know, and if you got involved, and if you found out what was being done and where it was being put, and what you could have done something about it. We, like you were saying before about educating ourselves, right. We do not get involved the way that we should, and that is why we get walked over all the time. We don't stick together, and we don't do it. We just complain to each other all the time. Oh my God, did you see what they did? And this is getting ridiculous, and we don't do anything about it.
Oh, you mean just like the gentrification that's happening right now?
We don't do it. If we get more people who are in real estate, more black people in real estate, more black lawyers, if we get more black judges, if we get more of us in these positions of power, they cannot do this. We play, we're the minority, and we don't come from rich and wealth, and we don't come from this. Stop saying we don't and start doing it.
It's not that simple, but
it's not saying it's simple. Nothing is simple. It wasn't simple it was simpler for them. But nothing is simple. But we gotta start somewhere. We gotta stop complaining about it and talking about it and do something about it. I mean, I'm kind of guilty too. In the past, I would just get back and get mad. Now I start to get involved. I go to my kids' school. I want to know what's the council meetings in my neighborhood. I want to know because I want to know what's going on so I can be a part of that, because they don't see us there. So they're like, we don't care. But then we're the first to complain. There's a liquor store on every corner in a black neighborhood.
Right.
You don't see that in a white neighborhood.
You
Why?
Sure don't.
Because they open their mouths, they get together, and they put a stop to it. Period. We can do the same thing. But
I hear you.
Getting back to our letter.
I hear you.
But I want to know, what does that have to do with this white woman dating this black guy and how she feels? Have you ever dated a white girl?
Have I ever dated a white girl? Actually, I have.
Oh God.
I have.
What was that like? What's like to you? What's the difference?
It was okay.
There's no difference, right?
There was no difference.
Like dating anybody else?
There was no difference. This is the first time I've ever said this publicly, but when I lived in Chicago, I dated a white woman, and actually she was from Germany, so she was not American. So there was sort of a difference there. She didn't have like the whole American attitude. You know, she had a European.
But have you ever been in a serious relationship with a white woman and like somebody you was really considering maybe marrying or having children with? Or was it just like somebody you were just dating?
We were kind of dating. It could have gotten serious. Okay. It could have gotten serious. We were dating. It was pretty much up until I moved to New York. So that's what happened. Okay. I was in Chicago and I was just about to move to New York. And and we liked each other very much, but I was about to move to New York to pursue my career, and so that's pretty much what ended it. But
I want to kind of dissect her letter because I do understand some things that she is saying. So I'm fair. I'm gonna check the black girls and I'm gonna check this white girl. But I want to take a quick break, guys. I want to get some more music in your ears, and when we come back, I'm going to read the letter again for those of you who may have missed it. We're going to read this letter again. I want you to call in 347-708-0216. Y'all better not have went to bed on me. It's only 9 o'clock. Get up. We got some news and gossip coming up next. And our movie review alerts, guys. I want to talk about a few movies that's out. If you guys have seen them, what you think about them. So we got a lot more to cover before we get out of here. Don't go anywhere. This is Talk It Out Radio. I'm Grace the Stallion. We'll be right back.
Comes a groove or two to make you wanna move. A song, a jam that's gonna make you feel so good. I got a groove or tune to make you wanna move. Made you a song that's gonna make you feel so good now. I found myself one day thinking how cool it would to hear that feel-good music sound make a comeback in 2016. Well, it's about that time I'm gonna switch up the flow. Keep it fresh for the new generation, cause the old heads know how this goes. Well, a lot of people are asking for it, cause it's what they're missing. A lot of people still talking about it, call that reminiscing. Well, I hear you all, I'm gonna do my best to bring my old school soul with the new school flow. Now watch me do my thing. Here comes a groove tune to make you wanna
Spanish chick out of nowhere who made him. And I hope I'm not spoiling for you guys. You gotta go see it. But I didn't kind of like the plot. I'll just say that. I didn't like the plot too much. And I wasn't crazy about the ending. I just didn't like, I don't know, I didn't like the storyline. I didn't. But the action was good. I love it was a tearjerker and a little bit. I cried a little bit. I laughed my butt off. So that part of it was great. I just didn't like the storyline. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about Bad Boys 3. And then also Tyler Perry's movie on Netflix, A Fall from Grace. I saw that last night, guys. It was phenomenal. And I say that because I love Tyler Perry, but I'm one of the people who think that he should have help with his writing. Not that it's not great. I just think that a lot of his writing, especially like his shows, his dramas, they're just it's a lot of dragging out. He misses a lot of, it's not really realistic. And the scenes are like just way too long, the dialogue. I don't know. So I just always felt like he was bragging about he writes his own stuff. And I was like, okay, that explains a lot. He doesn't have a team of writers giving their opinions and helping him write. And maybe you should to an extent. Like, I appreciate you being able to write on your own, but it's always good to have another person's opinion and outlook on things. And you don't know everything. And like I said, some of his stuff is not realistic. Like, you're like, that wouldn't happen in real life. Like, not even remotely close to happening in real life. It's just not realistic at all. But this movie, A Fall from Grace, which has Felicia Rashad in it, and it has the mother in it from The Haves and the Have-Nots. I told you, and of course Cicely Tyson is in it. It's a really good movie. I was really impressed with this movie. I think this was the best one he has ever done, and it should have been in the theater, not Netflix. Like, this is something that should have been in the theater, not Netflix. There's plenty of things that he did that was in the theater that should have been on Netflix, but this was not one of them. So anyway, I do want you guys to check out A Fall from Grace on Netflix, Tyler Perry. Don't get shied away if you don't like Tyler Perry and go, oh, I'm not watching it. It really was a good movie. Definitely a good movie. And then my last good movie I want you guys to go see in the theater is Just Us. Just Us, if you haven't heard, is the true story, and it stars Jamie Foxx. He plays, I forgot the guy's name, oh my god, the guy in real life, but he was in prison on death row for 6 years for a crime he did not commit. And like, if you look at the evidence, there was no way he could have committed this crime. But it just goes to show how they keep imprisoning us for absolutely nothing just because we're black. They had him on death row. They were going to kill this man for allegedly killing a white woman. He wasn't even in her town when it happened. He was at a family reunion when it happened. Like, it was just so much evidence that was overwhelming, and they left all this out during his trial. And he was put on death row before he even went to trial. So like, you can tell it was a racially motivated movie. I mean, it was a racially motivated scenario, which is what happens the most. So it was based on a true story. It was very well executed. I loved it. So you guys go check out Just Us in the movie theater right now. Also Bad Boys 3, and if you have Netflix, check out A Fall from Grace. So anyway, guys, I want to go back to my letter. We have about 30 more minutes. I'm going to take another quick break, get some music in your ear. We're going to come back with our news and gossip and wrap it up to get out of here. But I want you to call in if you heard my letter, 347-708-0216. This is Talk It Out, and we'll be right back.
I know I got plenty, but girl, these bottles cost a pretty penny. And you know I got my niggas with me, and we all trying to get with it. So girl, if you sippin', it's cool. No, I ain't trippin' cause you bad. Plus you came through with a few baddies for each of my crew. Damn. And girl, they already paid for it, so use them how they made for them, pour 'em up. And when you start to feel a little drunk, gon' get another car back. Just don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my. Just don't spill my. Hold up, stepping on my shoe. Don't get it confused. I ain't tryna act the fool. I'm just tryna keep it cool. What you wanna do? But girl, if you're ready to leave, tell the valet bring the key, just so we can make this quick. I mean, we can keep pouring up drinks, baby. Just don't spill my liquor. Telling you. You should let a real nigga keep. All I'm asking you to do is don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my liquor. Nah, don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my. So much champagne, it's a damn shame. You better throw up everything if you can't hang. I'm smoking presidential like a campaign. Niggas playing hate, but do it damn. VIP with all my niggas, we surrounded by bitches. Superstars, so the bras trying to hound. I got some bad bitches dancing on the couches, they twisted. I told them, you and your friends be to the house, so let's kick. Sipping Hennessy on the rocks, and they had me a couple shots. Now I'm kicking the wood spots, and we headed back to my spot. Surprised I even made it, cause damn, I'm kinda faded, and I hate to even say it, but that's when I feel the grace. I'm clearly no Jehovah, I'm barely ever sober. Drinking liquor like it's water, take your bitch across the board. Cancun, private room in the middle of June. It's whatever you wanna do, baby, just don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my liquor. Nah, don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my liquor. Just don't spill my liquor.
What's up? It's your boy Lamar Doctor. I'm back once again.
Doctor is Bizak. What's good?
And you can call me Doc, by the way. A lot of people call me Doc because of my last name.
Okay, Doc.
Yeah, but to address the young lady and her letter, I would say that she was definitely not in position to highlight and say the things that she said in her letter.
Amen.
I believe that she used the issues that go on in the African American community as a forefront with her situation that's going on with her, which highlights her insecurities.
Right.
So, she really does need to sit down with her boyfriend and have a one-on-one talk with him. Because this can go so many different ways. Because we do have issues in our community. There are things that go on, but it is not for her to use to make herself look better.
Right.
That's not how you handle that.
Do you think that he's wrong for sharing these things with her, like telling her what people are saying?
Yes, he's wrong because what it creates is more fire for her, more fuel for her to use as a forefront for herself. And you don't want to bring negative energy to your partner.
Right.
You want to sit down with your partner and get to the bottom of things, not just add more fuel to the fire. That's not good.
Now, I have a question. Have you? I'm guessing that you're a brother. Have you ever dated a white female?
When I was in high school, I dated a Caucasian woman for like 2 months. She grew up in an African American community, so she was one of those Caucasians.
Okay.
But as I got older and came into my manhood and myself and knowing who I am, I'm not romantically attracted to Caucasian women.
Gotcha.
I love my African American women of all types, Caribbean, no matter where you are from the world, I love, the African American women.
Now,
or a woman of African descent.
She feels like black women don't know how to treat a black man. She feels like we got too much attitude and, we're too much like the man in the relationship. And she feels like that is why we don't have, we can't keep our black men, or why we're losing them to white women. Do you at all think that there's any truth to what she's saying in that part?
There is definitely truth to that. She's not in position to come out and say that, but there is truth.
Wait.
And let me tell you, and let me explain to you why. Because if you sit back and you watch what goes on in the African community, it's sad. African American women are. I am very disgusted at how badly and poorly that they are treated. But some of them don't do anything to overcome that. You know, they follow in that stereotype and treating African American men like crap when they don't deserve that. Like, for myself, I'm a merchant seaman, so I've been halfway across the road and back. I have been in some of these other countries and had women treat me like I'm a king, like royalty.
Wow.
You know, and I don't even have, just because I'm an African American, you know, man who's from America and my skin is melanated. And they treat that with so much praise and respect and honor. But yet here in America, a lot of African American women, they either overlook that or they're so proud and you know, they want to be the man and they want to be the woman and they don't know how to be conservative enough.
Now, I get what you're saying when you say that, but we compare different countries into where we are. But in America, Black women have so much to deal with. First of all, this is the most biggest state where they imprison our Black men. So most of us are single women and single with children because they have our Black men in jail or they've shot them down. So we are left to raise these kids by ourselves. That right there makes us angry and bitter. A lot of us have been in relationships where we've gotten dogged out by these men, where we supported them and we helped lift them up and we helped them go from A to Z, and then they left us for somebody else, or they cheated on us, or they didn't appreciate what we did. So now that makes us angry on top of everything else we're dealing with. So when the next guy comes in, we don't know how to appreciate him, or we've changed because we're tired of opening up our hearts and getting it stepped all over. So our defenses is up, or we're forced to be independent because, again, we are the breadwinner of the house, or because it's so hard for a Black man to come up. The woman is often the one making the most money, or she has the better job, and so she feels like she has the most of the say, which I do think is wrong. I feel like, you know, if you're in a relationship, your man should be the man and the head of the household, and you got to work that out, and you need to be submissive. But a lot of women didn't get that memo, and they're not there yet. A lot of women are not there yet. But we got to understand that what we go through here in America, a lot of women in other countries don't go through. So yeah, they're ready to praise you and wash your feet and do everything else when we have been walked all over with those feet.
Right. And I agree with you, and you have a valid point right there. And that's what we need to fix. We need to fix that link where African American women are treated so poorly and badly, so they can learn, you know, how to praise and worship our African American brothers out there.
I totally agree. And I think that's where it comes from. It's both sides. I see what she's saying, but I understand what you're saying. She doesn't have the right to say these things. Like, I would respect it better if it came from a sister. Like, you know, we got to learn, like how I'm saying, we got to learn how to tone it down. We do need to respect our men, but it has to be the right man. Not every man deserves to be submissive to. Not every man deserves for us to love him in that way. Unless he is doing what he is supposed to do, then by all means, I'm going to treat you like that king you deserve to be treated like. But we have been through so much. We got to be careful. We can't do that to every single guy. And most men, we got to make sure that their intentions are in the right place first before we do those things.
Correct. And that's a big thing right there. You know, many people, African American women and men, you have to learn how to analyze the other person and know what it is that they truly want. Some people just want to drag you along. Some people just there for the ride. And some people truly want that happy ending, the marriage and the wife and the children. But you have to pay attention. No one's going to tell you verbally. You have to watch. Open up your eyes. Open up your ears.
All right. Well, thank you again for calling back. It's been great talking to you.
No problem.
Good night. Yes, guys. I definitely love the feedback. Thank you all for calling. And do we have another call on the line? Oh, hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, hi. What's up? This is LaRock Lewis. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am great. I'm just tuning into your show. And I'm getting bits and pieces of the end of it. And I was listening to the gentleman that was just calling. So the thing about the letter and a white woman addressing this of Black men. First of all, I wouldn't pay any attention to it. Okay. We're not going to pay attention to the foolishness.
That's
all right. We know why we are the way we are. And if anything, the black men need to know how we are the way we are, because some of it, the problem is because of how the family is, but how a lot of black men have treated black women. Some of our black mothers were single. Our grandmothers were single. Our great-grandmothers were single. Okay?
Yes,
and that's how some of us viewed some of our men. Now, we say all that, but you don't see us scurrying around a bunch of white men all the time. Right? Although the hands of our abusers or the hands of people who are oppressed us usually were our people.
Yep.
But we don't see us talking down about black men. We don't do that. We don't do that at all. Right. The majority of we don't do that. So I don't want to hear that. Oh, they don't worship whatever. First of all, I ain't worshiping no man. I worship God. Put that out there.
Right, that's why I had to correct him. I understand other countries, the women are so, in awe of American men, but in America, our American women, we go through a lot. We deal with a lot with these men, and so that's not something we're going to just do for every man. You got to be a man that's really doing your job.
Exactly. And guess what? And once we do have that man, that good man, trust and believe we're giving our all, but that's what we do.
Right.
Okay? So I don't know if this other man who was not felt loved by a black woman, then maybe you need to look deep inside yourself. Okay?
Right.
Let's talk about that. I'm just tired of how they always want to sit, like the man was saying on the line, a lot of these black women, what did he say? Some whatever nonsense he was saying about
she said
nonsense. Whatever. I don't want to hear that.
Well,
I'm one-sided because I am a black woman. I'm in the community. I can count 10 black women, and then 9 of them were oppressed.
Right.
So we understand our stories.
Did you hear the letter and what the person in the letter, because that's what he was trying to respond to. He was saying he didn't agree with what she was saying. He don't feel not that he didn't agree. He don't feel like she had the right to say those things as a white woman against black women. But in the letter, this white woman is saying she's in an interracial relationship, and her man is always getting feedback from other women and his family saying black that she doesn't understand him the way we do, and they bash their relationship. So she's saying we're the ones who don't know how to take care of our man, and if we did, they wouldn't be turning to a white woman. And she's saying how he doesn't want a woman that's always angry and acting like she's the woman in the relationship, and she's trying to justify why black men go to white women. So that's what he was trying to comment on. What is your take on that?
First of all, white women needs to shut up. I mean, that's just it. Let's look at this black man's self-esteem. I want to know who raised you, sir.
Right. That's my question, because he's telling her everything.
Was it a black mother and a black grandmother after your bad black behind self in school? Who went up there to help you? Who was up there to help you get be well? Right. Who was there to raise you and teach you how to read and write? I want to know that stuff.
Because she's saying that her parents paid for him to go to school. Her parents paid off his car. She's saying how many black women's parents do that for their boyfriends? That's something to brag about. So I'm like, maybe that's why he's with you.
No, we won't do it for the boyfriend. We're supposed to be their husband. That's why.
Amen.
We don't do it for somebody's boyfriend.
Right.
Okay? And we're not going to do that, because what we do, we'll support you in your effort.
Right.
And yes, and there's a lot of people who will actually support the businesses and economics of the community. So I don't know, this is just one woman who was given some type of authority from a black man, thinking she can speak on something like this.
Amen.
But which is a bunch of ignorance all around. I wouldn't even pay any mind. I really wouldn't. I would laugh at it. All right, next page.
I did.
Because it just,
I did. I laughed after I read this letter, because I was just like, is she serious? She is about to get jacked. I mean, don't get it twisted. I don't feel like she should be getting bashed for her relationship. Let him date who he wants to date. If you want to date a white woman, I don't care. So I don't feel like, women should be bashing him for dating her. But you have no right to try to act like you know a black woman, say that you can treat our men better. You don't know us.
Exactly. It's like me saying I could treat a Chinese man better. How the hell do I know you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the community, so it makes no sense. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Thank you.
Peace to you. And what's up to Al? I know Al's cutting up back there. Al knows who I am. I know he's probably smiling and thinking I'm a hot mess. But
no,
he knows
you kept it real, honey. Thank you.
When it comes to black women and the state of black womanhood.
That's
my name's
right.
Lewis. All right, y'all.
Thank you, sister. Have a great night. No, that's right, guys. Keep it real. Thank you guys for calling in. We were talking about our letter from a listener, guys, and I read it twice, so I hope y'all got the gist of it. But like she said, I laughed because I'm like, this girl is off the chain. But I feel like it needs to be addressed because she's not the only person that feels this way. And again, the black woman is the most disrespected. We got to take so much heat. We got to always be defending ourselves. We're always being competed against. Like, we're so hated, but then you guys want to mimic us so much. And that's what angers me to the core. It's like you want to talk about us, but you want to be in our shoes at the same time. You know, you want the melanin of our skin. You want our curves. You want our beauty. You want down to our hair. We can do so many styles with our hair. Y'all got, you know, the limp straight. You can't do much with it. You guys are wearing wigs and all that different stuff. Like, hello, that's what black women created. So I feel like you guys want to be us so much, and there has to be a happy medium. We can all get along. You can date who you want to date. Us as black women should not be bashing white women for dating who they want to date. If they're dating our brothers, to each his own. He's just not for you. There's a bunch of other men that can be for you. Or maybe you try dating outside your race. You might find somebody for you. I'm not against it at all. We're a big melting pot anyway. You know, all of us are related in some sort of way. We're a big melting pot of people. So we should not bash, but at the same time, she's doing the exact same thing. So I do understand her anger and frustration, but I think your boyfriend needs to stop putting this into your head. And I think you need to hang with some sisters so you can really see what we go through on a daily basis. And that is my take on this letter. I'm going to let it go right there because, you know, it did have my blood boiling. But thank you guys again who called in about our letters and our topics tonight. I want you guys to go see those movies. And before we get out of here, I just wanted to bring up a few news and gossip that we had going on. First of all, everybody's upset with Beyonce. I'm going to definitely, you know, end it with everybody talking about Beyonce right now. I love B. The Beehive loves B, but not right now. They don't. She has a new line out with Adidas. It's called Ivy Park. And it's her athletic line with Adidas. But everybody's upset with her. Well, not everybody, but the plus women are upset with her because her line does not include plus size. Like, really, B, you're a burger away from being plus size yourself, and you're not including us when it's all about size acceptance and you have plus size women dancing for you, but yet you don't have plus size clothing. I think that is a big problem. So she's been getting slammed all over social media. People have been complaining about the fact that her clothes go from an extra small to an extra large, and that's as far as it goes. There's no 2X, 3X. It's not accommodating the full figured and curvy. B, what's up with that? So maybe she will change it up now that everybody's complaining about it. You know, you gotta listen to your fans. So if this is what your fans want, you gotta give it to them. So I do probably think that she will come out with a plus line now that we're, you know, complaining because she got her fans back. But B is B. She can do no wrong. You guys are mad at her right now, but I'm pretty sure y'all will be okay by next week. But definitely Beyonce, you know, I'm a curvy girl. You got to get some curvy girl clothes. I make my own clothing, so it doesn't bother me either way. I don't care. But for those of you who do go shopping and you do buy Ivy Park, we want some sizes for everybody. She makes it for men, so why not make it for plus women as well? So that's my take with the Beyonce. Then my next one is Oprah. Oprah has dropped her documentary on Russell Simmons' sexual abuse film. This is like a little pissing me off. Like, everybody loves Oprah. I love Oprah. I love what she's done. You know, she is one of our heroes in the world, but Oprah is not always fair. Like, you're going after Russell Simmons, another one of our black icons, our black entrepreneurs, our men. And I've been seeing a lot of our men lately getting torn down by all this sexual abuse accusations. They raided him, they got Bill Cosby locked up. Some say he did it, some say he didn't. I don't know, but I'm like in the middle with that. I'm just like, they were all grown women. I didn't see nobody with a gun to their head or forced. You guys are saying he drugged you, but you kept coming back to his parties. So like a lot of things don't make sense to me, but you're putting this 80-something-year-old blind man in jail many years later when nobody said anything. And now they are. And I'm not ever saying that sexual abuse is right. It is not. So if he really, really did do it, then he's in the right place. But how do we really know? Like, how, especially with so much time has passed. So I've been like in the middle with this whole Bill Cosby story. R. Kelly, we all know, deserves what he's getting. Definitely deserves it. So I have no defense there for him. But you also got Cuba Gooding, who's now being accused of this. Now you have Russell Simmons being accused, and she's saying that he tried to talk her out of doing it, but he's saying that's not what he did. And now she's pulling the film. Why? Because she feels like she wants to make sure the story is correct. She's not saying she doesn't believe these women, but she's saying that she wants to make sure that there's some gaps and some loopholes in the story. And before she puts it out, she wants to make sure that the story is airtight and correct, which you should. You should not put out anything that's false. That's how Aaliyah gets sued. But you should not put anything out that's false. But at the same time, Russell kind of admitted saying that, he had his dog ways as far as sleeping with a lot of different women. He was out there. I mean, what celebrity man really has it? Celebrities, period. They've all been hoes at some point in their lives. But to say that he's raping or forcing these women, I think that's where you're crossing the line. And these, again, weren't children. They were grown women. And for you to I always felt like there needs to be some sort of responsibility with women as well when it comes to this. Now, a child is one thing, but a grown woman, if you are meeting a guy, you're dressing half naked, you're giving him all the signals, you're going back to his room, you're drinking, etc., etc., etc. What do you think he's thinking? Now, you're going with the flow. Not once are you saying no, stop, screaming, getting up, leaving. And then years later, you want to say that he sexually harassed you and that he forced you. Like, that's where I get pissed and confused and upset. Stop doing that. Stop putting yourselves in these predicaments and stop leading these guys on and stop saying you want it and then later on, years later, saying you didn't want it. Then why were you there? You knew what was up. We all know how men are. And I'm not giving them a pass, but real is real. If it looks like a duck and quack like a duck, it's a duck. Would you jump in the water with a shark and expect it not to bite you? You're not. So don't do these things and you won't have to deal with this later on. But I feel like we're coming after our black men. And I don't believe all of this is true, especially with every single case. I really don't. And I'm not putting down any female. I too I've been through it myself when I was a child. So like, I take it seriously. I don't think you should make accusations like this, especially if it's not true, or there's a shadow of a doubt where you were down with it. I don't care if you was down with it for the whole 99 minute and then the last minute you wasn't. Half of you was down with it. You cannot do that. You just cannot do that. That's like taking a kid to a candy store and then telling him he can't have no candy. Like, you let him touch every single candy, smell it all, and as he gets ready to put it in his mouth, you smack it away. You can't do that. You just cannot do that. And I think it's the same way when you're in a relationship or you're dating somebody or you're getting intimate with someone. You just can't. You can't bring a thirsty horse to some water and then say, don't drink it. That horse is going to kick your ass. So it's the same thing when it comes to men. And people go, oh, no, you're supposed to have restraint and all that crap. But we're not men. And we don't know their chemical mindset at that point. And I'm not giving a pass. I can't say it enough. I'm not saying it's okay. If you truly are doing that and she didn't want it, that's wrong. But when she's giving every green light and then wants to renege it later, that's wrong too. So women need to be held accountable as well. And so I'm kind of glad she put this film on hold because I don't see her going after, again, white guys like that. You're friends with Weinstein. Nobody went after Epstein like that. Nobody went after Charlie Sheen like that. Like, why do they always get a pass? And then we slam our own. We just do it way too much. But That's my take on that, guys. My takeaway, I'll be back next week. It is time for me to get up out of here. Time goes by so fast. I have enjoyed my welcome back night. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Same time, same place, right here on iAccess Radio. Follow us on talkitoutradio.com. Follow us on Instagram, Talk It Out Radio, Facebook, Talk It Out Radio. Everything is Talk It Out Radio, guys. Send us your letters to info@talkitoutradio.com. If you're an artist, send us your music to the same place, info@talkitoutradio.com. We'll be back next week. I'm your host, Grace the Stallion. It's been great talking to you guys. Good night.
Talk it out. Talk it out. What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I want more grades at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out. What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out.
You need the latest news and the latest fashion. Tune in to Talk It Out and watch that stallion. The whole city know that we on the horizon. The talk of the city, New York. Talk with me if you need the vent. Or if your rent spent, things don't make no sense. And life getting too tense, put your troubles on hold. If you sip or you roll, whatever I suppose. Turn on the radio. You with the queen whose voice is gold. She thick in the waist, don't let him in the waist. This show's a fine taste with design by Grace. And we won't stop until we heard in 50 states. Talk it out, talk it out, talk it out, talk it out.
What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out. What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out.